Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 15th of January. This is Brad Matheny going over some of my new indicators. So, wanted to talk to you guys about not only what I call my blocks trading system, which is here, along with the new indicator that I built here, the linear regression logic CCI, but really wanted to show you here. We're going to go to XLB and 1 hour. Try to keep you guys on the same charts here, or keep me on the same charts. So you can see we've rolled into this upward channel here. Make sure this is set up right. Regular session. Make sure I've got this 27 and come back here. 1 hour chart. Oh, 5 and 14. Okay, there we go. So come back here. 5 and 14. There we go. So what I'm starting to really see about these tools. So now remember, here's another CCI here. This is, again, what I started with, this simple CCI, and I modified it into this. But, again, wanted to talk to you guys about how this is playing out, how we move into a strong bullish pressure wave right here. Notice I've set the bullish pressure setups here to 21, 37, and 68 on the ATR balance. I've lengthened this whole thing out. Leaving the look backs the same. I wanted it to be longer term versus shorter term. This is a good way for you to look at it, longer term. And again, what's happening here is we're getting into bullish pressure and then bearish pressure. And then finally we go back to bullish pressure here. And you can see that we've got a pretty solid upward trend here in bullish pressure. We end up getting the same type of indication with bullish trending right here, lining up perfectly. And we get the new bullish block right here with our long entry moving forward off the block trading system. We also get the very solid bullish pressure system here rolling upward with the new CCI linear regression channel, and we move off a cycle low into a cycle high and continue into the cycle high through this mode. This is ideally what we want to see. We want to see these broad cycle highs moving higher. Now remember, this is, daily, this is 1 hour chart. So we're looking at bigger, broader trends here. We go down to a 5-minute, we're going to get similar type of activity, but it's going to be basically 5-minute data. So you can see here, let me get rid of the lines. And again, show you what we're looking at here. This is XLB. We move into broad, bullish trending through here. We move through this cycle low into this cycle high. Cycle highs are good for upward trending. We move from this moderate low level up into this bullish cycle phase all the way through here. So we get this good broad cycle upward channel, cycle upward channel, cycle upward channel, and right here, we get into cycle upward channel with green bars all the way through here. Beautiful little uptrend. Very, very clean. With the ADX, we get our little breakaway, meaning accelerated momentum to the upside, confirms here with the momentum, confirms here with the CCI, and confirms here with my linear regression CCI. Absolutely beautiful. In an uptrend or a downtrend, you're going to want to watch for these types of rotations. So here's a downtrend. Shrink this down a little bit. You can see we get into this downtrend here, rolling all the way down. We get into a downtrend here, rolling all the way down into that low. We come across this cycle high, rolling all the way down to this low. We move into this cycle change right here. Pressure changes into bullish. This is a counter trend because we're above the zero line. So we want to be kind of cautious of this downtrend, maybe a half position. we still get the same confirmation. Cycle high, rolling into a low, high, rolling into a low, high, rolling into a low, high, rolling into a low. Looks very solid here overall. So now let's take a look at the financial sector, which is really kind of on fire right now. And yesterday was a great example of a trade. Bullish trending, bullish momentum all the way through here, rolling into bearish momentum here, giving us our downward cycle until we move into bullish momentum rotation here. You can see we're in a cycle high across here, rolling into a downward cycle here, lines up with our bearish trending here, carrying downward, moving into our downward cycle here from our upward cycle. And you can see the rotations clearly. Bullish cycle, buys, moving up into our bearish cycle, topping, rolling across here, coming down. So here's our bullish cycle here, moving up. So you can see how we're rolling right through this, okay? Obviously rolling right through this into a nice solid trend. Look at how this buy cycle mode sets up nice and early right over here. We're looking for a change in momentum. We catch it right here, moving up through this cycle phase. And we get the rotation back down across here. And then we get right at the end of the day, we get this bullish cycle phase up. Now XLF is up, 2.75% this morning. Going to be a big move. But again, these are just 5-minute blocks, and they're playing out extremely well. You got a little bit of interpretation, but not that hard to see, really. This consolidation is consolidation. You got to kind of wait for it to get in and out of a trend, and you got to follow the cycle trends. But you can see long order here, and then we close position. I've got to still check that. Don't know what that close position 2 is. Must be from earlier. Long 10, close 10. Gonna have to check that out. Then we get into a very late long entry here, get out, get into another long entry here. This probably was a long, there is a long position, looks like back here. Close position 2, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to check that. That's the debugging with this system. We've got to make sure that it works right. But again, the trending mechanism for discretionary trading looks very good. Along with my cycle patterns, I think you guys are going to do really well with this. And remember, I'll teach you this as well. I'm using a simple ADX, and I apply 20-period envelope onto the ADX. So all this is an ADX with an envelope on it. With a 10 percentage point range. And the way you do that's pretty simple. You start with an ADX. Here, let me do it for you. Come in here, go to technicals, you go to ADX. So boom, there we go. Set it up any way you want, and then come right over here to the ... and you will say add indicator on ADX, this middle one. And then you come down here and you go to an envelope. And you add an envelope. And there you go. So now you just set the ADX up the way you want. I've got it set to 10 and 5. And 5. And then I've got my envelope set to 10 and 20. Or 20 and 10. And there you go. There's the exact same setup. And what this does, guys, is it measures strength. So when you're below the envelope here, you're in a weakening trend. It is not building momentum, so to say. When it is above, like this, above the envelope, you're building momentum back to the upside. And all this is basically an average. An envelope is an average with a 10% variant on the average. That's all it is. It's a measurement of, so to say, crossover, cross under. So you're getting into weaker trend, You're getting into weaker pullback because we're in bearish trending. We're in bearish momentum. You're getting into a weaker pullback. And then you roll over here and you get into stronger bullish trending. We're building momentum to the upside. Stronger momentum to the upside. This is where the sweet spot is, that nice little rally. Then over here, weakening downtrend, and starting to build into some strength here, which is going to obviously open up quite a bit higher because we're opening up almost 2 1/3, 2.5 points higher. So again, teaching you guys how to do this. Some of the little tricks that I've learned, remove steady tree, yes. And these new indicators will be available as soon as I can get them ready for you. Okay? Just wanted to show you what I'm doing and show you how it works. So here's the SPY, 5-minute. You can see here, we're into kind of weaker trending at the end of the day. Bullish, but in a moderate pullback here through consolidation. And really off of this cycle low. So you can see here, big cycle low, big rotation in CCI, moving into bullish, somewhat bullish trending over here on the pressure indicator, moderate, moderate rotation here on the CCI, on the ADX index. And generally, like I told you, you know, we look at these because remember, 5-minute, 10-minute, you want to keep an eye on really the scope of the market. So you see the S&P here, SPY is up 1.5%, up to 591.29. Could be a very big move this morning, but you can see we've come off this deep cycle low, rolling upward, coming off of this low, starting to roll upward. And again, didn't get a whole lot of a buy trigger here. We did end up with green bars right here, indicating that we've moved into a moderate uptrend. But again, you know, the idea here is to show you where we're at. So we were here, we had been accelerating to the downside. Now we're getting this weakening trend, meaning that we're kind of going nowhere, maybe still trending downward, maybe trending upward. And what we're looking for now is really that roll. The cycle indicator here showed that we're up near these highs. So that would indicate that, hey, we're pushing up into an uptrend or potentially near the top phase. And we get this nice rotation here to the upside, but the hourly is not as clear as, per se, we may see in other indexes. So 30-minute may be a little different. So 30-minute had turned bullish earlier. You can see the bullish pressure here. We still don't have any upward trending. You can see that we're in this upward cycle, really rolling up here in this upward cycle, and had gotten into this kind of a broad upward cycle across here. But the intent here is to help you guys see and identify these opportunities. So remove the drawings, and I guess I'm going to leave it there for now. Okay, guys, these will be released as soon as I get them bug-free and ready to go in real-time mode. It's going to be a very positive day. I mean, really, this is a big move, up 1.5%, 2% pre-market, and it could keep going. So understand there's going to be a lot of short squeeze probably early in the market, a lot of short squeeze. So let's see what happens.